really in simple way and concise way. Do not put too many things here because it's not necessary. You can discuss with the candidates via your interview, right? Okay, so just put around 3 to 5 job description here, right? Okay, and what next? What next? What next?
Job specification.
The requirements, right? The requirements, right? About the level of training, about the number of years of experience, right? And anything else, for example, personalities, anything else, right? The skills, you just put all the requirements here. And you have to base on the information in your JD, right? In your JD, you have a written. You have a written and you just put it here, right? And what next? Right. Compensation and benefits. Okay, benefits. Actually, we have two types of compensation and benefits. The first one is the financial benefits, and the second one is the non-financial benefits. You should put the financial first, and the non-financial after that. Got it? Because the most important is about the physical thing, materials, right? So the very first thing you should put some benefits related to finance and money. You put it first. And something related to non-financial condition, for example, promotion chances, right? For example, training chances, you put it after financial issues, right? And the last thing, what next? How to submit their profile, right? How to submit and the deadline. How to submit and the deadline, right? And you have to put down all the needed information here. For example, the profile, you need to include some types of documents, right? What type of document do the potential candidates need to include in the profile when they submit their profile to your company, right? And the next period of time that the company open for submission, right? And any further question, do you have any contacts for the for the potential candidate to contact you or not? You just put it here, right? To put it here. For example, you can contact this number and Miss Hua, for example, right? To ask for further information. That's it. And remember, next week, each group, you have to show your job ad here. Put it here, right? You have to submit to my laptop and I will show it for you, right? And you have to come here and you have to play a role. You have to play a role as a recruiter from this company to come here to call for submission from all the potential candidates here, right? And just within 5 minutes, to appeal to talk to all the potential candidates here. Remember, you have to play a role as a recruiter of that company, right? Play a role. And I will not assess this assignment, but all other members in your class will assess this one. Via 4 criteria. Have you ever heard about AIDA? Have you ever heard about this thing? Ever? Not yet? Not yet. Okay, so when we assess the effectiveness of a job ad, we have 4 criteria. The first criteria, that job ad must create the attention. The very first thing, you have to gain the attention from the audience. The very first thing, right? And after gain the attention, you have to generate what? Interest. That means they are interested in the position you are talking about, right? And after gaining the interest from the audience, the next thing you have to gain is desire. Exactly, desire. That means they really want to apply for that job. Got it? After that, after generate the desire from the audience, the next thing you have to generate is about the guidance of action, right? Action. So certainly, the attention depends on. Remember, the attention. The first criteria depends on your design and depend on the way you hook your audience. Got it? And the second criterion, interest. Interest. How can you generate the interest? It's about how you talk about the job. Is that interesting or not? The job is interesting to the audience or not, right? It's about the interest. And how about desire? The desire, it depends on the way you introduce about your company, and especially the benefits. Got it? That's the desire. And the last criterion is about action. It totally depends on the session. The way you give out the guidance is a transparency or not, right? With the transparency or not. That means clear or not, right? Specific or not. It depends on this section for the last criterion here. Okay. So next week, after all the presentation, certainly you can gain added point for you if you have the question for the presenting group, right? You can ask for further question about the job if you want to clarify, right? Okay. And certainly you will gain the extra points for your group if you have a question for the presenting group. And after that, all the group you will evaluate. You will evaluate each of the job ads via four criteria. And certainly I will draw a table here so that you can draw the table and evaluate the job ad of each group. Right? Got it? Any question about this assignment? No? I just want to ask you. If you do not ask me, I will ask you. How about the color? The layout. I am using the horizontal paper, right? But you can put it vertical. It depends on you. The layout, it depends on you, right? But how about the color? What color will you use? What color? The main color of the job ad. What color? Black and white. What color? What color will you use? It depends totally on the main color of the company. You should look at the logo of the company, the main color. Behind the main color, always, the company always have a story. That is their identity. So you have to put the identity here. So you have to use the main color of the company to design the job ad. Remember that thing. Got it? Okay. And remember, not document, not file from document. No. You have to get the output of an image. An image, right? The output is an image, not a document. Remember this thing. Okay? Image, not document. It depends, but it must be an image, not document in doc file. Okay? Okay. But the tail, it depends on you. Okay. The next assignment. The next assignment, I will give you this. You have to design the criteria for selection for that position. You have to base on the job description, especially in the main responsibility section. Remember, okay? So the second assignment, we have some step here. The second assignment, you have to design the job criteria, right? The second job criteria. And the very first step, you have to list out the main duty, of the job, right? Of the job, and certainly you based on the JD, you have a match, right? From the JD. And after you list out all the main duties from the JD, the next step, the step number 2, you have to answer some question. You have to answer some question. To do, for example, you have a duty 1 to duty 4, for example. You have a 4 main duty. Just focus on main duty. Just focus on main duties, right? Okay, so example. Now you have to answer if your company wants this employee to finish to perform the duty 1. The duty 1 was ASK needed example, if you want to do the duty 1, what type of knowledge do you need to do this job? And the second question, what type of skill do you need to finish the job, right? To finish the duty? And what type of attitude your company expects from your employee? Got it? And you have to answer for all the duties you have listed. Got it? You have to name all the things. And after that, you have to build up a rubric. Build a rubric. And step number 3, build a rubric. Right? And I will help you for this thing. For example, which knowledge? I have a design for you 4 main levels. 4 main levels of knowledge. The first is the basic knowledge. That means the basic comprehension on the work. For example, when you ask about the job, they just answer in the very basic manner, really basic manner. No more, no deeper, right? Or no enlarged information. They just describe the really main thing, the really basic thing. That means the very first level. The second level, they can describe the whole thing, right? The whole thing related to that duty. And the third one is the in-depth comprehension. That means they can analyze. They can compare, and they can totally understand about that duty. That means the upper intermediate. And the last one, not only in-depth, but also wide related fields. Any other thing that's related to that duty, they can understand, they can explain, and they can show the problem. That means the fourth one. And similarly, with skill, I have a four main level. The first level, that they can do that skill under the supervision of other person. They need some supervisor to help them with the guidance to finish that job. That means the very first level, right? The second level, they do not need any supervision. They can do it on their own. That means they can work independently, right? That's the second level. The third level, they can guide other people to do that. They can guide other people to do that kind of skill, right? And the highest level, that person have the ability to innovate and improve the work. That means they can innovate the process of the work, the content of the work, right? And the next thing, about the attitude. I also designed for you 4 levels here. And the attitude, for example, extrovert, for example, the attitude that means always conscientious about something, or for example, they always careful, right? They always really careful. They have the carefulness, right? And the lowest level of such kind of attitude is that never. They never careful. They are never careful, right? That's the first level. Sometimes in the next level, always is a first level, and the highest level, they can impact other people with such kind of energy and attitude. Got it? And now I will give you an example of the final assignment for you. This is a table you have to finish. In assignment 2, I will explain this table for you. For example, I am designing the criteria for selection of the job recruitment staff, right? Recruitment staff, and I have a list. I have a listed 1, 2, 3, and 4. I have a listed 4 main duties. Got it? 4 main duties. You put it here. And after that, the first question, you have to answer the question: what type of knowledge do your employees need to do this job, to do this duty, right? So HR planning, they need to have the knowledge about HR plan procedure. And they need to have understand about all approaches, that means all the methods, right, of HR planning. So there are 2 types of knowledge here to perform the very first duty. Got it? And about the level number 2 is intermediate. Got it? Intermediate is based on the rubric I have built for you, right? And about the weight, in Vietnamese we have số. How is it important, right? How is it important? It means weight. And certainly there are so many ways to put the weight for each criterion, right? But here I just use the simplest way. The simplest way, that means if it's a normal criterion, you just put only one. And if something is a critically important, something is a really important, you show number 2 here. That means it's a more important than this one. Got it? It's an easy way, but certainly you can choose many level of the importance. It depends on you. But if you choose 3 or 5 or 4 levels of importance, that means level of weight, you have to explain. You have to explain in your paper when you submit to me, right? And similarly, you have to answer what type of skills do we need to perform this duty. And for example, compiling information, collect information, right? Collect the data. And making plans, right? Making plans is the next skill. And the level is number 2. That means they can do it independently without any supervision, right? And the weight is the number 1, right? It's a normal thing. And the content of the attitude. What type of attitude do you need when your employee perform the very first duty of the recruitment staff? That's only one, right? Careful. So always careful so that you do not have any mistake in the data, right? And the level is number 2. That means critically important. Got it? And similarly, you will do these things for recruiting duty, for compiling information, for hiring duty, and hiring report duty. For all, and after that, you will sum up all by multiplying the what? The level with the weights, and after that you sum up all. And if you want to calculate the average point, you have to use the sum divided by what? Sum of the weights, exactly. And now you have the average point here. And so the average point is, for the recruitment staff is 2.44 out of how many? How many points? Out of how many points? The highest point? What me? The highest point? So the average point here for selection. For selection, an employee for the recruitment staff is 2.44 out of 4. Now I just want to ask you. If you have three last candidates, and the first candidate you evaluate with the performance of the candidates, and she gained 2.2. One member, the candidate A 2.2, right? The candidate B 2.4, and the candidate C 3.4. Who will you choose? Who will you choose? There are 3 final candidates. The first candidate, after evaluating, you evaluate with 2.2 out of 4, right? And the second candidate, 2.4 out of 4, and the last candidate, 3.4 out of 4. Who is the person who would you choose? I know it. I know you will say C. Most of you say C. Actually, C is not appropriate. C is the most excellent, right? The most excellent candidate is a C, but the most appropriate is B. You have to choose B. Why? Remember, with the candidates who gain 3.4 after evaluating, this person is really excellent, and she's not appropriate with the recruitment staff. She should be a manager for this department, but we do not need manager right now. We just need a really normal staff, right? So if you hire the candidate C for the position of recruitment staff, what happened then?
cái vị trí người ta đang tuyển thì đó giỏi quá.
What happened then?
Giỏi quá.
So come back to the rubric here. If she gained 3.4, so that means most of the criteria she is in level 4 and 3. Some in 3 and some in the 4, right? But most of the criteria for the candidates here, you see here? Got it? Most of the criteria, we just need number 2 level. So you are hiring a really excellent person to put in a really normal position. We are waiting the talent, the very first thing. We are waiting the talent, but that's the problem of that person. But is there any shortage? You can find out that impact our company. If we hire candidate C, about the salary, certainly they cannot be satisfied with the salary of the recruitment staff. With recruitment staff, we just pay around 12 million VND. But with her ability, she deserves around 30, for example. Certainly she cannot be satisfied with a really low salary. That's a dangerous thing. And what next? What are the disadvantages? About the motivation of working, right? When you have to do something really easy compared with your competency, suddenly you feel really boring, exactly, and you do not have a motivation to finish the job. That's the second thing. The second risk for you. What next? Whenever there is any other position in other company that is the more suitable with her, suddenly, right, she quit your company immediately, and you have to hire a new one. But you say, so we lose the talent. If you want to keep the talent, if you want to hire the talent, okay, you can hire her, but not this position. Think of other position. That is the most suitable with her. Got it? But when we are hiring for this position, E is the most suitable one. The nearest with the average point. Got it? That's it. And the exercise number 3. Now, exercise number 3. Exercise number 3, based on all the criteria you have put here, you have to design a question bank for the interview next week. A question bank, and I ask you, okay, in the pay column, you have to design at least 3 questions to check the case. You can choose any knowledge here to raise the question, but at least 3 questions to check the knowledge, and at least 3 questions to check the skill. Got it? And at least 3 questions to check attitude. So, sum up, you have to raise at least 9 questions for your question bank to prepare for the next activity. That's interview session in class next week. Got it? Any further questions? That's okay? Okay, thank you. That's all about the assignment. Next week you have to do. Okay, so I think it is enough for today. We will end class quite early today. If you do not have any further questions, bye for now and see you next week. Remember, all the individuals, you have to design your CV and please print it and bring the hard copy to our class next week. Got it? Okay, thank you very much for coming. Bye.